Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader with me, Bragaton. Let's climb down here. Gonna take the high ground since we're already up here.
Mercy, but I will grant none.
Ha! I'll bleed you dry!
We're not in the best position.
I'll make it happen. I don't need luck. I have strategy.
Am I getting paid for this? I can do that, with the right incentive.
That's like I can't see Abelard. So I wonder how this works. If she has in my sights.
Tell me, and it is done.
I am not your Xenos pet, monster. Another soul slips beyond the veil.
Nice.
Is that my blood?
Yeah, we're in a really good position for Iriet, but not really the rest of my team.
For the throne's glory.
At least we have plenty of cover to work our way down with.
Let's see to it.
Let's take our time, not gonna rush in too hastily.
I understand your intent.
And end her turn. The next turn she can one-shot that guy, but we'll see. I don't know if she can shoot over this cover like I'm hoping she can.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone!
And she cannot.
Doubt is for the weak. I am his will made manifest.
We can do this. Oh, no, we can't do that either. We can do
Faith
that.
without deeds is worthless. Each strike is a prayer.
She can't actually get to where I need her to get. Well, that's unfortunate.
I won't stand for it.
But of course, Lord Captain, I'm done with this one.
I'll see to it personally.
Alright, let's see how this goes.
Follow my lead.
Yeah, let's be two tiles away, that's okay.
Victory is imminent. I will do my duty.
Momentum.
So I'm not sure if giving her an extra turn with bring it down cancels out her in my sights ability.
Don't get too cocky. You've got a problem. I've got a prize. I hold all the cards. Never fight fair.
Man, I'd love to give her another turn to take out another enemy, but I don't know if it's worth it.
Don't get too cocky.
Instead, what we could do is just put a shot into this guy. I think he's our biggest threat. She can really mess up a whole bunch of these guys. Oh, cool. Okay, so she does get... Got it. Got it. Let's... I'll put her behind better cover, but... Jai's in the way. A little unfortunate. So she might go down here. We can't sneak past this guy. We could try this, though. Really want to...
I won't object to it.
I think we'll just hang tight for now. Kind of blocking everybody in into the bottleneck.
My reckoning will be swift.
I was hoping he'd miss.
Kasa.
The Emperor protects. Nice. Oh, they messed up by lining up like this.
No weakness is hidden from my sight.
Not as effective as I was hoping. Alright, Abelard, I'm going through you, buddy.
I deal death with my hands.
I won't compromise my principles.
Momentum.
Good job, buddy. Alright, let's finally clear a path. In fact, I'll send him down this way to cover these two guys.
It will be done.
Tell me, and it is done.
Good job, Abelard. I probably just should have shot with Iriet there instead. Whoa, okay, yeah. Let's take that guy out.
Your reckoning is due.
That was hang tight for now. Too far away to really do anything efficiently over there. All right.
That is beneath me.
Aw.
If it serves your cause. Damn it! Oh.
Alright, Abelard, you versus the 213 health combat servitor.
It's nothing.
Don't let your guard down. Accept your lot.
At your beck and call. It will be done.
I should have used Sworn Enemy first. That's alright, he gets another turn anyway.
Who if not me?
I will do my duty. Indeed. At your beck and... Victory is imminent.
Hold the line, Abelard. Oh, where Eldari? Are they coming to help, or are they hostile?
Aw, you're no fun. Am I getting paid for this? Don't get too cocky.
Another soul slips beyond the veil.
Oh, they are hostile. Alright, Iriet, I guess, get your work cut out for you. Are they gonna attack each other, though? Oh, the Eldari are probably behind the rebellion.
Let's see to it. Be gone. For the throne's glory.
Hey, this worked out. I'm baiting him into attacking their own guys.
If I must.
A little annoying. We can do...
I will not.
this.
Fool creatures!
A pitiful attempt.
That's not worse.
Alright, we need to get her over here, I think, to help out. That's gonna leave her exposed, so I might have her run down this way instead.
See? Right there.
She's just not in a great spot.
A mere pain won't stop me.
Can't do exactly what I want to do here. I want to reposition, but it's gonna eat all of his AP up if I do that. Only 59% chance of landing that attack. That's gonna take him out. Yeah, let's do this.
Spill no tears for me, Isha. I've faced worse than this.
I could have done that instead. Oh well, what's done is done.
It will be done.
And Abelard's gonna slowly whittle
your
through this
back.
guy.
It will be done. At your beck and call.
I go into the darkness.
I can do that with the right incentive.
So what is her fellowship at? 104. She keeps getting the bonuses from what's it called? A leader's assault. I wasn't sure I was gonna like her build or not, but I'm actually becoming quite the fan.
I won't object to it. Your reckoning is due. But of course, I won't object to it.
It's just the servitor left.
If it serves your cause.
Not bad. Yeah, Argenta didn't do a whole lot in this fight.
Guided by faith. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Woohoo, 5 whole damage. Oh, 8 damage total, I guess.
It will be done. I took care of this one.
Alright. Iriet's usually dispassionate face is contorted in a grimace of pain and rage. Your elucidator activates when she begins speaking in her own language. I swear on Kane's riven heart. Urarin? Warren? You'll pay for your treachery. May Morai Heg sunder your fate and cast it away. May the blood of Eldenesh flood your throat. Get a grip. I doubt that will be the last battle we see today, and I need allies with their wits about them. Iriet closes her eyes, sucks in a breath through her teeth, and quickly murmurs something. When she opens her eyes, her face is once again a mask of cool serenity. She looks at you and begins to speak, this time in Low Gothic. Please excuse me, Ellentalk. I allowed the turmoil in my soul to win out over my reason. A slip like that could cost me more than you can even imagine. My very soul. I must be careful, even in the face of treachery. Who is Morin? What treachery are you talking about? Morin is the one responsible for the rebellions against the ruler of Giannis. But allow me to tell you everything from the beginning. We call ourselves the Children of Asurian. Eldari is another name of ours. We're the echoes of the great empire that once ruled the galaxy and created new worlds. The planet that you call Giannis is one such maiden world, the Lelathan, a haven that our ancestors made for their kin. For many millennia, only the shadows of our predecessors lived among the ruins, until you humans came here. We are the heirs, and we are entirely within our rights to call the maiden world our own. However, our arrival is a tragedy, not a homecoming. Sorrow seeps into Iriet's voice. We belonged to craft world Cruderok, which fell on the border of the Star region. Only the providence of the merciful gods allowed us to escape the fate that befell those whose souls perished amidst the stardust along with our abode. Destroying an Eldari craft world is a serious achievement. I like to shake the hand of whoever did it. It is a huge undertaking. Usually, the Imperium's under orders to just avoid craft worlds if they can. A destroyed craft... Jai breaks off and then hurriedly whispers to you. Hey Donald, if we get a chance, we should check this place out. Even if the craft world was blasted to bits, anyone who finds a piece of it will make a fortune. After the calamity, the Lathan offered my kin a sanctuary, a place of respite in the ruins of our ancestors, under the canopy of the forest created by the wisdom of our world singers. Living alongside your kind, we reap the fruits of our labor with such vulgarity. You came to Giannis along with the rest of the Eldari. No. My path brought me to the Lathan later. Iriet hesitates. By another route. It was Morin who welcomed me here. He was one of the surviving Farseers of Cruderok. He was with a handful of Asuryani who escaped the death and found the path here, the destroyed cradle of our kind. They were outraged when they saw how the Monkai had ravaged our flourishing garden. How are your kin connected to the uprising on the planet? The Asuryani do not enter battles they cannot win. However, it is in our power to direct the currents so that the elements themselves wash obstacles and enemies from our path. And so it was in this case. Morin, the Farseer from Cruderok, saw a future without the Monkai, and we followed his lead. We simply used the Monkai's passions against them. Their love of freedom and anarchy. Their love of domination and violence. Stoking enmity between servants and rulers is easier when your targets are governed by emotion rather than reason. My kin became military advisors to the Monkai, who rose up against the ruler of this world. I had a different mission, to become Vicenza's handler, since the rebels would be unable to get to her until both sides were sufficiently weakened. The ruler of the humans had never seen a child of Osirian before, and so she accepted the lie about a degenerate branch of Monkai dwelling far from their own kind. Why did your own kind attack you? I know not the answer to that question. Iriet lowers her head. Many cycles have passed since I departed these forests in my kin. They cannot have forgotten me, can they? Why would a handful of Xenos go to war against the whole planet? You can't kill everyone. You struggle to understand the children of Osirian, and I do not blame you for that. We are too different. Iriet says nothing for a few moments, choosing her words. Monkai walk blindly into the future. We choose the path, guided by our Farseers. Cruderok was the birthplace of the powerful watchers of things to come. Our leaders were selected from among their ranks, and their word was set in stone, unshakable like the universe itself. Morin, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Morin? Maybe it's Morin. Our leader here is one of that group. The children of Asarian are subject to his will, and he is subject to the will of his visions. Muwarin saw the Lelathan in a vision, suffering and crying out to be cleansed, and we did everything we could to rid the maiden world of the Monkai. Our lives, our desires, all that is dust compared to the light of the path that Morin has chosen for us. At least, that is what my kin believe. I used to believe it too, until recently. But why are you telling me all this? What's brought on this candor? Alantok, your arrival has thrown my paths into disarray, and lifted the veil on the truth that had been hidden from me. While shadowing the humans' ruler, I failed to see the signs. Signs that there was another threat looming over the Lelathan, besides the Mankai's deeds. The threat should be familiar to you, as it is to other intelligent species in the galaxy. We call it Silent Thresh, she who thirsts, goddess of chaos. So the chaos gods don't really have sexes per se, but I'll often refer to Slaanesh as she for two reasons. One, a lot of artwork depicting Slaanesh is female, but also the Eldar do call her she who thirsts. And since they created Slaanesh, I think they have the right to determine. Silent Thresh and She Who Thirsts are the names of the Eldari give to the chaos god Slaanesh, their ultimate enemy. Slaanesh is the god of passion, excess, and forbidden pleasures, is known for his fickle and treacherous nature. Disfigurements. It seems you call these mutations, are the surest sign of this threat. By mutilating living forms, this malevolent power subjugates them and bends them to its will. You have seen the deformities in the faces of those who are closer to the Lelathan's body than others, the rebels who hide under the canopy of these forests. Mankai are weak in spirit. They are susceptible to the propositions of She Who Thirsts, and in their drive to attain her poisoned gifts, they perform perverse rituals in her name. Rituals that require sacrifices. Like the Mankai who were brought to the palace and never seen again. The Lelathan's world spirit senses the threat, and resists as much as it is able. I cannot read today. The living things that inhabit this world are becoming its weapons. Weapons turned against the Mankai. Poisonous plants, rabid beasts. These are all like a blade in the Lelathan's hand as she fights the coming of Silent Thresh. Signs that have been revealed to me. They all indicate the presence of corruption in this world. Potentials of corruption may be threading through the world spirit, poisoning it even as we speak. But for corruption to take hold of the planet so quickly requires effort. Effort directed by the will of another. Iriet pauses. I believe Estenza Viat is enthralled with the will of Silent Thresh. What? Estenza Viat? The governor who's duly served the dynasty and the Imperium for decades. Donald, I hope you will not stand for such scurrilous slander aimed at one of your finest servants. Well, I've technically already fired her, Abelard. Ah, Xenos. Such wonderful creatures, Shireen. Before we came, Pointy Ears spent her days serving the governor. But the moment the wind changed, she started regaling us with tragic tales about our people's dismal fate and the world's plights. And we humans are to blame for everything naturally. Jai clicks her tongue and glances at Iriet with suspicion. Although there is a grain of sense to her words, I will give her that. If Estenza is to blame, then why haven't you gone to the palace and killed her already? There's only one crime graver than serving Silent Thresh. It is betraying the children of Asturian for her benefit. Uaran saw the paths. He beheld the future. How could he not see the dark stain on its face? How could he fail to do everything in his power to rid the Lelathan of this canker? Iriet's voice grows angrier, more piercing. Before I rip this poison seed from the Lelathan's body, I'll make Uaran answer me. Yeah, I think option 3, because we suspected that already anyway. Maybe if Estenza is tainted from consorting with the archenemy, we'll have to find out for ourselves. Perhaps the signs I uncovered have failed to convince you. I pray to the gods that other proof, something more comprehensible to you, will emerge to sway your opinion. Silent Thresh is deceitful and cunning. She subtly penetrates the soul, offering false perfection, luring victims into her web with promises of a wicked ideal. The ruler of the Mankai perhaps does not even know that her soul has been corrupted. If we want to meet with the leaders of the uprising, we better keep moving.
We are the spearhead of the Imperium.
I must thank you.
In the dimness under the canopy, you notice the outlines of machines, portable generators that provide power to the camp. Some of the machines have fallen into disuse, and it would be impossible to make sense of the cables and wires strewn about the floor without the help of a tech priest. Right, left behind.
Keep your wits about you.
The floor of the bunker is littered with sleeping bags, backpacks, and the rebels' meager belongings. Clothes smeared with blood, primitive data slates, half-eaten Nutribars.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Attempting to arrest the rogue trader's companion on his lordship's own vessel. It's beyond the pale. I hope the Inquisition does not come after you itself in the future, Magos. Oh, spirit stones. We could just sell them. Okay. So each of the Eldari factions, the Drukhari, the Exodites, and the Eldari themselves, they all have
I always have a backup plan.
various means of combating Slaanesh trying to eat their souls. I do not fret, First Officer. I currently have no plans to do such a thing. The Eldari, the generic craft warders, they use spirit stones. So when they die, their soul goes into the spirit stone, and then they put it into the infinity circuit aboard their craft world. Drukhari kind of just cut themselves completely off from using the warp or psyker abilities, despite the Eldar being a psyker race. And instead they try to out-excess the goddess of excess. So that's their whole thing. They're a bunch of hedonists, but to the absolute extreme. And then the Exodites, they put their souls into the catapult. The Exodites put their
Always
souls
keep
into
your eye
their
on the
world
prize.
spirit. The Exodites are the dinosaur riding Eldar. They're I guess the wood elf equivalent
Is there money to be
in
made?
the setting. So the Eldar are like the high elves, the Exodites are the wood elves, and the Drukhari are the dark elves. It's a pretty apt comparison, I think. Okay, well, I'm gonna call it here. I know we only got one battle done, but it was a doozy. We took out some Eldari as well. And next time we'll keep exploring the forests. I'm guessing we should go up this way first, and the leaders are probably this way. But we'll see. We know there's at least one more fight to the north. We'll tackle that next. Yeah, with this being trapped, and the Eldar came from this direction, I'm assuming this is where we have to go. But we'll see. Either way for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.